Hello, everybody. Welcome to Velasco Sports. The Chicago Bears officially ended their season yesterday, and now it's officially baseball season. The Chicago White Sox report to spring training next month. They've made quite a bit of acquisitions this offseason to improve the progress they have from the young core that absolutely impressed everybody last year with Colson Montgomery absolutely breaking out with 21 home runs in the second half. You got Kyle Teal, Eder Caro, so many more talented players. Sam Antonacci can make his way up to Chicago, possibly cracking the opening day roster. I believe with the White Sox looking to draft number one overall, and it seems pretty clear it's going to be Rock Chalowski, that puts some future shortstops the White Sox have drafted in the past in consideration for outfield roles in the future. Before I go over that, I'll go over some big signings the White Sox have made this winter, including Anthony Kay, Sean Newcomb, Trishan Peters, who they acquired from the Rays. Munetaka Murakami is the big chip that the White Sox acquired, and it's gonna be amazing because you could put Mydroth 1, Teal 2, Colson Montgomery 3, Robert 4, Murakami 5. That that gives you two guys that can hit 270, 280 plus. I would like to see them hit in the 300 range in a high on base percentage and take a lot of walks. But if you get those two guys right before four power bats, this team is automatically going to score a lot of runs. Uh, I think people, when they predict the Sox record next year, saying that they're going to top out at like 65 wins, they're still looking at it as the players like Vinny Capra are still on the Sox, like Michael A. Taylor. They're not on the Sox anymore. It's time. We're here. We're going to compete now. They've added some pieces. There's rumors that they could get Michael Conforto. Some fans are happy, some people aren't. Um, Michael Conforto going to Ryan Fuller's lab could absolutely be a dime and a dozen. Just imagine now adding Conforto behind Murakami. That lineup is gonna be nuts, and I think we could be the underdogs in the American League this year. Justin Ishbia will be stepping in sooner than later. It looks like he's already helped out a little bit. I believe probably chipped in some money to get the Murakami thing done. They're not gonna say that because they want it to be Jerry did it so that like he can still get some love until Jerry finally passes over the papers. Will Venable is coming back looking to have a great second season as the manager. He had some growing pains, but he absolutely changed the vibes in the dugout. The camaraderie between the players seems 100% different than it was in 2023, 2024 compared to 25. And I believe the camaraderie is just going to get better. A lot of the core players even roommate with each other in the off season. So that means they're pretty damn close because some rosters have those roster beefs, and you don't think that uh, Lindor and McNeil are gonna be roommates after all the beef they had over for the Mets. And what I like about the camaraderie is they're gonna play for each other, not just play for themselves. That's probably what happens to teams like the Mets last year is they started playing for themselves. They didn't play for each other. And now the Mets don't have Pete Alonso either, and they traded McNeil because they couldn't get along. And when you can't get along, how are you going to play for that person? You're going to want them to be benched or something because you got all that aminosity in your brain about them. Like if you're not getting along with some guy every time they bat, you're probably hoping for the worst. Even though you should still be hoping for the best because that's your team and you're trying to win as a team. But sometimes teams have to break up their cores. And I hope that's not the case with the White Sox young core. I don't think it will be. They already seem to have like this super bond. Like it's not just one set of players that live with each other. It's like numerous groups. Like they grew up, have groups, and they live in like places together. And if you're not planning on playing for each other, I don't think that a bunch of different players start roommating because because if you couldn't see Lindor and McNeil getting houses together, that's why they broke up. So having a good relationship with your teammates is good, and that's what I like about this core. I met them at Sox Fest, and they were really, really respectful too. And it's a breath of fresh air to see such grown young men come together and play really good ball. Um, Murakami is gonna absolutely prove every team that didn't bid on him for his low contact rate wrong. I still think Murakami could hit 40 bombs. I'll be okay with anywhere from 25 to 40. I think Colson's also gonna put up 40. If you average Colson Montgomery's home run total across 162, it's close to about 48 home runs. And that, and if he adjusts and gets that batting average up, he's automatically gonna even hit more home runs because he's gonna run into them on accident. Also, I think as long as he keeps growing and works with Fuller, he's gonna hit home runs not even trying. Like, and then if he doesn't have to always try for the home runs, it will help him fix his swing to where he's gonna start hitting for average too. And if we can get Colson hit 270 with 40 bombs, then watch out Chicago. We also have lots of young pitchers coming up. People thought that Noah Schultz struggled last year, yeah, but he's literally he's literally still not even 20 yet, and um, that's pretty young for someone that could be looking to make the majors really, really soon. Then you got Hagen Smith. People are still looking down on Drew Thorpe. I don't think Drew Thorpe is bad. I think Drew Thorpe is going to be a young killer at either the bottom of the rotation or you could have Drew Thorpe in your bullpen. Anthony K, his brother Bobby is pretty cool. I talked to him on Facebook. Or not Facebook, on X, my bad. Um, seems they both seem really genuine. I think Bobby can get some starts and also help out in the bullpen if needed. And then you got Sean Newcomb. That was a surprise acquisition. he can if he can start too, then you got quite a little rotation going. I think the White Sox are going to impress everybody this year. I'm not going to put any doubt on them. I don't like to do that. I like to I like to pump you up, get you going. But one player I want to see crack the roster is Sam Antonacci. I would like to see Sam Antonacci in the outfield with Braden Montgomery. I think Braden could play some center field, and Antonacci can play either left or right. Because eventually, you're gonna have to try to trade off that access pieces. I could see Sosa getting packaged um, to bring back some pitching, or now that we acquired Romo, that makes Lee's chances of getting traded a lot more certain. Maybe Sosa in Lee with a pitcher for a bat that a team like the Phillies or the Padres are trying to eat money off of. Like if the Padres are get rid of trying to get rid of okay, I forgot. But okay, the Phillies, if they're trying to get rid of Castellanos, maybe a pitcher, Corey Lee, um, Sosa, and maybe another young bat going back to Philly, and then the Sox eat a portion of Castellanos's contract because they're trying to eat his they're trying to eat his payroll because the Phillies eventually are gonna try to trade off pieces because they have a very high payroll and haven't really achieved what they were trying to achieve. And eventually, players are gonna start retiring, and it'll be too hard for them to recoup their system if they don't start getting rid of some of their big bats. So I feel like the Phillies are a good team, but it's too many big names with different voices, and it's not boding well. Just like just like in San Diego, they're barely making it with $300 million payroll. If if I think I need some additional talent too. Not you can't just build a roster with just $300 million players. You gotta get some talent, and the way to do that is you're gonna have to eat some of their contracts, and you're gonna have to send back a haul in order to revamp your whole system because the system is very important for depth. If you got one of those core players go down and that's the hottest bat in your lineup and the other guys are struggling and you don't have anything in your system to replace, then you're gonna see your team go downhill. Because depth is important, and if you only depend on four key guys with big names and high paying contracts, and one of them go down, and that's how you depend on your roster, you're in trouble later half of the season. It's awesome. The White Sox opened spring training with the Cubs, so we might be able to see a little Bregman versus Mooney competition. It's gonna be kind of fun to watch the crosstown this year. I'm glad it's 3 game sets over the weekends. Something's been happening the last couple years where they took that tradition away, where they've been putting it on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and a Thursday in the middle of the week at 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock, and it's like you can't do that with the biggest series. Sox fans are working. But this year should be really fun this year in this baseball season. Um, I'm hoping I'm hoping the White Sox can get over 500. I think they can do it. I think people are sleeping on the Sox system. I feel like 2024 is still stuck in people's heads and kind of depressing to read all the time. I hope that I hope Ishbia steps in sooner than later. I watched the interview with him, and people were asking how he pays his employees, and he stated like he's not gonna just fire them. He's going to keep giving them chances, and he's not gonna be the one that just cuts your pay and stuff. Like, and if you are succeeding and doing really well, he's gonna um he is gonna make sure he gives you enough value for you to feel valued at his companies. The way I think that is great is that I feel like when he steps in, he's gonna pay players the money they owe, and I don't think we'll be going through any arbitration cases. Arbitration is terrible. It's like going to court. It's like how come you guys just can't settle it because um once you once you kind of ruin that relationship, it's hard for you to ever extend that player again. It's kind of like a blind rule. Once you mess up your first negotiation, that stink will linger. I think the Tigers really messed up with Scooble. Um, he wants like 30 plus million, and they only offered 19. So if they're off by 15 million, that right there ruins their relationship, especially when you know you're gonna have to overpay him to keep him next year. You kind of don't want to mess up your negotiations like that, especially not with the $15 million difference in arbitration. So your best bet is to try to lock up your core players early before you even have to start fighting with them. Because once you start arguing with them over money, your chances of recouping their services are very slim. Um, I hope the White Sox get Rock Chalowski. Seems like a really good player. It might create some extra competition because you also have Billy Carlson coming up. So if you can have Rock Chalowski, Billy Carlson up the middle, probably pushes Carlson to third base and pushes Bonnemer and Antonacci to the outfield, and then Mydroth becomes a super utility player. So eventually, I think 2028, you could see um, Braden Montgomery maybe in a leadoff spot with Teal in the second hole, and then it's just gonna create a crazy lineup because then you move Montgomery down, you put the other Montgomery in, you throw in Chalowski, um, Teal, Harrell's gonna be off the bench. You're just gonna be young and loaded. After this year, the White Sox are gonna be like so talented. Like like you're gonna hope for one guy to win the position, but then you're not because there's another guy that might be more talented behind him, and then you're in a pickle on who's your favorite because there's so many good young talented players. It's like the first time you don't have a favorite on the team, and I love it. Also, There's a chance the Sox can get Jacob Tomey. If the White Sox get Tomey, um, he's also could play second base in a power bat. And then they got George Welko coming up still. That's gonna be a power bat in the outfield with Jaden Faust. Like there, there's so much talent coming up in this team, and then people are just like putting blinders on all over X. It's like, do you want to see the team to do good? Do you want to pump your players up, or do you want to just keep on doubting them all the time? Let's go. Let's pump our players up. Let's get to opening day. Let's buy nacho helmets. If you're if you love your dairy, go get you a milkshake. Like, it's time to be excited for the Southsiders again. Also, let's go. Let's get rid of this doubt. I'm Justin Velasco. The White Sox are looking bright, and I say so long.